Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me once again. Today, we are going to be talking about the laws of thermodynamics. Now, to start this conversation, I would like all of us to agree that the laws of thermodynamics apply to everything in the natural world around us. That is why it is a law. It is unequivocally observable. There is no way around this, and it applies to everything in the natural world. And if something we observe appears to break the laws of thermodynamics, it is because A, the theory that we are using to describe our observations is wrong, or B, our understanding of the physical process is 100% wrong. Ultimately, it boils down to us not understanding what's actually taking place in front of our face, because nothing can break the laws of thermodynamics. And this is something every scientist will agree to the entire world over. However, there are glaring contradictions when you try to apply the laws of thermodynamics to the heliocentric model and some of the observable phenomena that we witness on this earth. And if the heliocentric model cannot offer an explanation for the laws of thermodynamics being broken, and they cannot demonstrate with an experiment proving that the laws of thermodynamics can be broken by processes that have to take place for the heliocentric model to be an occurrence, then the heliocentric model has to be thrown to the wayside. Now, there are two instances in which our observations break the laws of thermodynamics when it comes to the heliocentric model's definition of what we are observing. Now, one of them is light. Light unequivocally destroys the laws of thermodynamics as far as it pertains to the laws of thermodynamics operating inside of the heliocentric model. Now, they say energy is needed to be applied to anything in order to get it to accelerate. Light in and of itself destroys the laws of thermodynamics in the way the heliocentric model describes the way light acts. Now, there has been 2 or 3 universities that have all conducted the same experiment showing light being shot out of a laser and traveling through denser and denser medium until this light comes to a complete stop in space and time. And you can see this light with your naked eye. And as soon as that medium is removed, this light accelerates back to the speed of light and continues traveling in the same direction that it was before it was brought to a stop. Now, this destroys the laws of thermodynamics if you believe the heliocentric model. However, if you start taking into account the electrical universe theory as well as Tesla's point of views as to what was going on with the ether around us, this explains exactly how this light is accelerating back to its original speed. According to the heliocentric model, there is no explanation as to why this light is accelerating. There is no energy being exerted onto this light, therefore it should not be accelerating. Therefore, the laws of thermodynamics fall to the wayside when observing this if you try to apply the laws that are demonstrated by the heliocentric model and that theory. However, if you apply the electrical universe concept and the ether around us being able to carry electrical currents, and you start looking at the earth as though the earth is actually a magnet, it makes a whole lot of sense. And let's just say, for the record, that ether has been detected time and time again, over and over again, through experiment after experiment. However, Einstein came along, designed a mathematical equation, and now all of a sudden the ether is no longer relevant because Einstein found a workaround. There's something else that we have to address as far as the heliocentric model is concerned. Now, they bring the microwave radiation background into the picture when we ask them for evidence of the heliocentric model. and we ask for evidence of the Big Bang, they point to this radio wave background, right? But what they're failing to realize is if you actually look at that data and you interpret it properly, it shows you beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Earth is actually the center of the universe and everything is moving away from us. Now, they're going to try to tell us that that's because of Einsteinian gravity and everything is relative. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you can't have it both ways. Because when I try to ask for evidence of an experiment that proves gravity, you point me to the Cavendish experiment, which is a demonstration of Newtonian gravity. However, when I ask you to explain to me how the Earth and the Moon are orbiting, you point to Einsteinian gravity. You can't have it both ways. Both of those theories contradict each other 100%. 100%. So when I ask you why a force is getting held to the Earth, and you tell me because it's a bending of space-time, and then I ask you to demonstrate that with an experiment and you can't, then you have to admit that it's nothing more than a theory. And if there's a better and easier way to explain this theory, then you must use that rather than the more complicated explanation. And this brings us into our next topic that breaks the laws of thermodynamics to pieces if you try to explain it inside of the heliocentric model. Now, I think we can all agree that if you have a high pressure system next to a low pressure system, those pressure systems are going to equalize if there's no barrier in between them. Now, there has never once been an experiment on the surface of the Earth that shows us an experiment of a pressurized system next to a vacuum without a barrier. Now, if you ask anybody that believes in the heliocentric model to show you evidence of a pressurized system next to a vacuum without a barrier, they're going to point you right back to the Earth and tell you that that's the experiment that proves it. However, they can't offer an experiment that proves or verifies why the atmosphere is being held to the Earth. And on top of that, they neglect to realize that it breaks the laws of thermodynamics. Let's just say for an instance that the Earth is a ball and that it is flying through space and it does have a pressurized atmosphere. According to the laws of thermodynamics, there is no way that that atmosphere would stay attached to the Earth if it was next to the vacuum of space without a barrier being in between the two. Absolutely no logical explanation for this. Absolutely none. So it breaks the laws of thermodynamics. How? How is this possible? How am I crazy for asking you for evidence of why we see two phenomena that you guys want to explain away with gravity, but they break the laws of thermodynamics? Gravity cannot break the laws of thermodynamics. It cannot. It cannot. Gravity is a theory. The laws of thermodynamics are unequivocally proven to be true. Like I said, the burden of proof falls on you as a heliocentric believer. Your mathematics tell us that there is a factor of error in your equations of 10 to the power of 20. Let's say I get cancer and I go to get treatment and the doctor says that the formula we developed for this drug has an error factor of 10 to the power of 20, but we think it works. Are you going to take that pill? Hell no. Hell no. And that's just common sense. And that's without having the benefit of knowing that that pill, let's just say that pill breaks two natural laws that you observe every single day. What are you going to do? You're going to run away from that doctor saying he's a fucking quack. So all I'm telling you is that the heliocentric model in and of itself has so many glaring contradictions that it's not even funny. Not only do scientists believe in two different forms of gravity, they have no way of explaining why light breaks the laws of thermodynamics when it can be explained perfectly in an electromagnetic universe. And on top of that, every time we ask for evidence, they tell us that it's our job to disprove the globe. Well, I'm sorry. All of your evidence is circumstantial or an appeal to authority. So until you can give me an experiment that shows me a pressurized system next to a vacuum without a barrier, or you can explain to me why light is breaking the laws of thermodynamics, I'm going to tell you that your model is bullshit because it can't account for either. Both of them are breaking the same natural law that we observe every single day. And there's a reason why thermodynamics is a law, whereas gravity is a theory, because thermodynamics has been proven and gravity has not. So you cannot use gravity to affirm the consequence of thermodynamics. Have a nice day. Thank you for watching.